But how often do we eat something or try some kind of trend because everybody else is, and it seems like it's okay, but our body is literally telling us, no, this is not working. If I had my first hot flash last night, like a real clear distinction of like, why am I so hot? I had to turn the fan on and everything, and I'm like low key freaking out. Like, all I'm saying. Hey besties, it is me, Patrice, your wellness bestie here. If you are new, first time seeing me, welcome. And if this is not the first time seeing me, welcome back. All right, she has a new little headband wig on, and I'm feeling myself. I love the curly look. Okay, so listen, last week we talked about part one. Remember, I'm doing a 5-week or 5-part health journey. And this was geared toward women that are over 40 because myself, 43, listen, life is different. Side note, I believe I had my first hot flash last night, like a real clear distinction of like, why am I so hot? I had to turn the fan on and everything. And I'm like low key freaking out. Like, I think I've had some before, but last night I was like miserable. So anyways, y'all keep me in your prayer. But back on subject. Okay, so we're in this 5-part series. All right, so last week we talked about a part one, which is starting small and staying consistent. Okay, and if you don't know it, I'll link the video so you can go back and check that out. But listen, let's get into part two. Part two is your health journey. Is just that. It is your health journey. This is all about you. It is nobody else's journey. So what may fit for somebody else or what may work for somebody else, if some fad diet worked for Boom Chica somewhere and they were like, boom, she lost like 30 pounds in 2 weeks, and it's like, oh, that worked for her. But did it really? But anyways, that worked for her doesn't mean it's going to work for you. All right, so listen, quick story time. I used to work at a running specialty store, and my friends and family would just kind of ask me, kind of casually, hey, what's a good running shoe for me? And I would have to tell them, I don't know. I really don't know. And then, of course, here's the attitude, like, you work at a running store, you don't know. Like, no, I do know good shoes, but I don't know what shoe's going to work specifically for you. So at a running specialty store, you come in and you get fit. There's a process that you go through to identify the right shoe, the right support that you need. And sad to say, it's not the same for everybody. Everything is different when we're fitting shoes, okay? And we're just talking about shoes. I would have to tell people, hey, you have to go in, you have to get fit, you have to go through the process to find out what works best for you. The shoe that works best for me may not be your jam. It may not feel good. It may hurt your foot. It may cause an injury. Okay, so because it's a thing. It's a thing. And so I would have to explain to people that it's different. It's different. It's different. So I want you to take your fitness and your health and your nutrition the same way. What may work for somebody, it may not work for you. How do you find out what works for you? I'm glad you asked. By starting to listen to your body. So first thing is I want you to really make sure that we can start small with this, and that's going to be paying attention to your hunger cues. Are you hungry or are you bored? Are you hungry or are those chips sitting over there? Do they look good? Like you can snack on those. Those are, I'm hungry now that I've seen that. So I want you to pay attention. What are your hunger cues? And are you really hungry there? That makes a difference. You know what I mean? The next thing I want you to focus on is when you're full. Are you full? Do you give yourself enough time to process the food? Are you eating? First of all, okay, let's go back. To determine if you're full, I'm going to really suggest you start going slow. You have to start eating slow. Unless you're in the military, you're going through basic training, baby, you can eat slow. You can eat slow. You can take your time and eat your food. And if you're so busy that you cannot really eat your lunch or eat your breakfast, take something out so you have time to eat. But slow down. That's going to help you feel notice when you're actually full. And I know we grew up with that whole clean off your plate, don't leave nothing on your plate, baby, do. I double dog dare you to leave something on your plate. I know what mama said, I know what grandma said, and they had different intentions during that time where they were telling us to eat everything off of the plate, but we're not in starvation. We know when our next meal is coming. We know when we're gonna get fed again, okay? So you can leave something on the plate. Find out, pay attention to those hunger cues, pay attention to those cues when you're satiated, pay attention to how you feel after you eat certain foods. How do you feel after you eat a sandwich? You go to Subway and you eat a sandwich. How do you feel after that? How do you feel after you eat Chick-fil-A? How do you feel after you eat that homemade meatloaf? How do you feel after you eat certain foods? Pay attention to how you feel. Meaning, do you feel full, stuffed, like bloated? Do you feel energized? Do you feel sleepy? How do you feel after you've eaten that food and it's starting to digest? How does that food make you feel? That's a big indicator on whether or not you can keep that food in your diet or maybe kind of wing that out. I want you to take this next week. I want you to really take time to think about how you feel and eat your food with purpose, okay? We're not talking about eliminate anything, just paying attention. I want you guys to pay attention to those three things, okay? Is one, are you hungry? Like, are you hungry? Are you bored? Or if this is just a routine that you sit down on the couch and you have a little snack. Is that your routine? So one, are you hungry? Two, are you full? Are you full? Are you satiated? Is this it? Do you need to eat any more? And three, how does this food make you feel? How do you feel when you eat this food? How do you feel when you eat a salad? How do you feel when you eat some collard greens or cabbage? I have been on this cabbage thing. Anyways, focus. How do those foods make you feel after you've digested? That's going to be a big thing. A couple of years I've been buying whole pineapple, and I'll chop it up, put it in the refrigerator for my daughter, specifically for my daughter because I know she loves pineapples. So a couple of weeks ago, she was eating the pineapple. She only took a couple of bites. And I was like, oh, what's wrong? You don't want any more? She was like, oh, well, no, I can only take a couple of bites before my mouth starts to tingle. I said, what? What do you mean your mouth starts to tingle? She was like, yeah, my mouth tingles when I eat pineapple. Doesn't yours? No, ma'am. My mouth does not tingle. I said, your body doesn't like pineapple. And she was like, no, that happens to everybody. I said, baby, it don't happen to everybody. I said, your body does not like pineapple, and I'm not buying pineapple for you anymore because your body is literally telling you no. And we laughed about it, but how often do we eat something or try some kind of trend because everybody else is, and it seems like it's okay, but our body is literally telling us, no, this is not working. We get sleepy after we eat certain foods. We get irritated after we eat certain foods. Our mouth tingles after we eat certain foods. So I really want us to really look and examine our body and its reaction to food when we're full, when we are actually hungry, and how our body reacts to the food. It's so important. So listen, I want to encourage you to monitor your health journey. This is your journey and it's nobody else's. There is no one size fits all health journey. This is really individualized, and I want you to take ownership of it. And so this week, I want you to really look at those things that we talked about and see where you can make an adjustment and what works for Sally, and it may not work for you, and that's okay. We are all uniquely different. We are all wonderfully created in the image of God, but we are all unique. We all have different thumbprints, baby. So if we all have different thumbprints, voice patterns, heartbeats, then why wouldn't different foods work for us and not work for somebody else? Okay, so I want you to find what works for you, but you got to pay attention to your body's cues, and it's telling you what it wants. You know what I mean? All right, listen, you guys be blessed, and like, subscribe, and tune in for next week. We're going to talk about part 3 in our health journey for ladies over 40 and 20 and 30. I got you. Listen in, because this is good stuff. You know what I mean? This is good stuff. But listen, y'all have a good one. Be well. All I'm saying